On Wednesday of this week, I did a live stream dedicated to static caravan owners and the problems that they are experiencing with park owners. Some of those problems are significant, and some of those problems, in my firm view, amount to breaches of consumer protection laws and simply unfair treatment. Now, on Wednesday, I looked at pitch fees. I looked at whether it's fair for agreements to say that the pitch fees can be increased every year by the park owner. Is it fair that consumers have no idea how or what the method's going to be every year for the increase in that pitch fee? And I also looked at termination provisions. So is it right that park owners can go to a static caravan owner and say, if you complain, if you send me a legal letter, if you even mention the word complaint, you are going to get terminated. You're off the park. Is that fair? Well, my conclusion was no, it's not. My conclusion in relation to pitch fees is that it's not fair, and that the terms that are currently appearing in the licence agreement, and you'll recall that I mentioned many times that the licence agreement I was looking at was specifically the British Home and Home Parks Association licence agreement, because that's the one that nearly all the parks are using. And my conclusion again was that basically there are problems here, the problems that need to be solved. There is another live stream that I plan to do on Sunday. Let me just stop there and say this. I'm going to move that live stream from Sunday to next Wednesday. It'll become clear in a minute why I'm doing that. But in that next live stream, we'll be looking at other key matters that you, as caravan owners, are telling me. You're telling me that there's issues with tied services, such as decking, having to use the park owner's preferred supplier, and all sorts of things like that. And what happens when you want to sell your caravan, you have to give a percentage away. All these issues are live issues for me to look at. But that's not why I'm talking to you today, because there has been a development since the live stream. That went out on Wednesday, as you know, and we had more than 11,000 people now who have viewed that live stream. That tells me, that should tell the Competition and Markets Authority, that this is an issue which is affecting many, many people. And if we're right that there is breaches of consumer laws happening, that means there's consumer detriment, and that means something should happen. But let's come back to the reason for today, because on Thursday, the day after the live stream, I was contacted by the BHHPA, and what they said to me is that they had watched the live stream. No surprise there, I thought they would. I'm pretty sure that many of the park owners watched the live stream, and so they should, and hopefully they took note. Well, I think they did take note, because what the BHHPA has said to me is they've invited me to make suggestions as to how this matter can be taken forward. And what I take from that is that they're asking me, what changes do we need to make to the licence agreement for you and for all of the static caravan owners to consider that it will no longer be a breach of consumer laws? And what else do we need to do so that everyone feels they are being treated fairly? So I'm going to take that on, because I think that's what you need me to do. I'm not going to be representing anyone individually. I'm not representing anyone in doing this. I'm just being the consumer champion that I am, that you all know that I am. And I'm going to put pen to paper and put down what I think resolves this situation. So I'm going to do that. This is going to involve me amending the licence agreement, inviting the association and all of their members, which I believe is most of the park owners, to accept the amended template, to adopt the amended template, and where necessary to replace your current agreements with a new one, bearing in mind that some of the terms will have to stay the same, such as the term of your agreements and costings and stuff like that. But what I'm going to ask them to do is to adopt the new amended terms that I make, if they accept them. This is not going to be an exercise where we have one over on park owners. That's not what this is about. This is about making sure there's more balanced. It's not an imbalanced situation, and that it's a fair agreement that does not breach the law. I don't think it's going to take much to do that. I'll also be recommending various other things that should happen so that you, as the consumers, the static caravan owners, are treated fairly and treated in accordance with the law. So my plan is this. I'm going to start drafting that. This is why I'm not going to do Sunday. It's too soon. But then I will do the live stream on Wednesday, where I present to all of you what I think we should be doing and what the new agreement should say and everything else. I'll also go over those other areas that I didn't touch on Wednesday, just so we've dealt with that. And then I'll be posting on my blog website, the consumerlawyer.blog, a written version of what I will send and inviting everyone to give me comments before I finalise it and send it off. This, I think, is a good move. It's a fair move by the association, if of course they see it through, and it could be the step forward that everyone has been waiting for. But let me say this very clearly. Once I've done this exercise, if what I say is not taken on board, or a variation of it, which is also fair, is not taken on board, the next step here is going to be to report the matter to the Competition and Markets Authority, the CMA. They've already had a report on this, but I think they need an additional report, and I'll do all I can to push them to do something, because change needs to happen. And I believe that the association, the British Holiday and Home Parks Association, that is, also now understands that some changes have to happen. Otherwise, why would they have contacted me? It may not be why they did, not making any statements here or accusations or allegations, but I think it's likely they did. I think we all know things need to change, and if I have my way, they're going to change. So that's the update for today. I think it's a positive one. Thank you for everyone that watched that live stream, because I think it's helped. There is strength in numbers, and the more people that keep watching these videos, the more it shows that many people have had enough. You want change, you demand change, and now you know that legally I think you're entitled to change. So hopefully that's what's going to happen next. So please tune in on Wednesday. I'll send details out of the timings and everything else very shortly, and I'll also start drafting what I think are the recommendations for change to get you where you need to be. The last thing I'll say is that these changes will of course be matters that now change things from here on. We also need to look at past issues, because some of you will currently be in issues with these park owners, and I'll have that very much in mind when I'm making my proposals, how you all get dealt with fairly as well. Let's try and stop what I know for many of you has been a nightmare, years of a nightmare. Let's see if we can stop it now. I'll promise you I'll do my best to make that happen. Thanks very much, and I hope to see you all, or I hope you see me, should I say, on Wednesday.